All right, I know what you're thinking when you clicked on this video. It's already November 1st. How can you give your awards predictions when we're 2 weeks into the season? Isn't that cheating? Yes, but I kind of don't care because I haven't made this video yet and I want to get this out there sooner rather than later. And you know what they say, better late than never, but never late is better. But you know, I'm still going to get this video out. I want to give my awards predictions so I can look back at them at the end of the year to see where I got things wrong. Pretty much all of these are going to be wrong probably, but maybe I'll get some of these right and I could pat myself on the back, and, you know, everybody in the comments who disagrees with me, I could come back and, you know, roast them in a couple of months. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's just start off with the big hitters, okay? The MVP award. Who do we think is going to win the MVP award now? 2 weeks into the season, there are some unlikely candidates that maybe many people didn't expect to be here, but I'm going to go with an obvious one. Nikola Jokic is going to win another MVP award. Now, here's my reasoning on why I think he can realistically and very easily win another MVP this season. The Nuggets have absolutely no bench. Their depth has been depleted on their team. Outside of their starting five, who are struggling in their own right, they really have nobody they can rely on. Jokic has to pretty much be Superman and hard carry them to every single win. If he's not putting up 30-point triple-doubles, even scoring more than that at times, they might not even win. They ended up going to an overtime game with the Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors, who are widely considered to be some of the worst teams in the league this season, and they barely scraped out victories over those teams. MPJ doesn't look as good as he did. Jamal Murray doesn't look as good as he did. No KCP. You're asking a lot from some of these young players like Julian Strother, Christian Braun to step up, who have had moments here and there, but this team was looking to be in championship contention. We thought that they would be a top 3 seed quite comfortably because they do have the best player in the world. However, the team is struggling. And for those exact reasons, I think that Jokic can win another MVP. He's averaging 31.5 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists on 57, 55, 78 shooting. Nikola Jokic is currently the Nuggets' best three-point shooter, and it's not even close. I think the next closest is like Michael Porter Jr., who's shooting, I believe, like 30-something%. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but last time I checked, he was shooting 30-something%. If the Nuggets somehow manage to streak some wins together, can get up there in the standings and end up even as a top 4 seed, I feel like this got to be a lock. There's absolutely no way that the Nuggets will completely miss the playoffs. I think there's a possibility they could be a play-in team, which would make this prediction kind of tough. But if they end up being a top 6 seed, we've seen Nikola Jokic win an MVP with a 6 seed before. And you could argue that this season, he's playing even better than he did back then. If he could get those guys with Facundo Campazzo and DeAndre Jordan and whoever they had that year to the playoffs, I really, really doubt that this team will miss the playoffs. My reasoning there, you know, maybe a little bit flawed, but I'm going to go with the Big Yoke. I mean, you can't really go wrong with him. He's definitely going to be in the top 3 discussion the entire year. So I feel pretty comfortable about that. Runner-ups I had on this list, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, honestly, really want to pick him, but the Lakers have kind of faltered over the last 2 games. So I don't know how confident I feel in that. That's kind of another aspect of me starting this prediction video late, is that I'm kind of cheating with these seeing a little bit of the results of the season. But if the Lakers end up being a top 4 seed, which I think they can, they definitely look a lot better this year with the same roster. But I still don't think the team is good enough. And because of that, I don't know if they're going to give AD the MVP award, although he definitely looks the part this season. And then you got to give it to Luka as well. He hasn't been the greatest this year either, but the Mavs are probably going to be a top 3 team in the West. I'm sure he'll pick it up. Even on his off days, he still puts up statistics that like 90% of the league would be their career highs. So let's move on to the next award. What do we got here? Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year. Again, this one I'm cheating a little bit because now that I've seen 5 or so games, I can kind of project into the future a little better. And for this one, I'm going Cavs' new coach, Kenny Atkinson. Now, the Cavs have impressed me a ton this season in a couple of games that I've watched them. They've had really, really good wins against a Knicks and Lakers squad, which are both probably going to be playoff teams, and they're currently 5-0 as I'm recording this video. I think it's pretty safe to say they're locked to be a playoff team this season. They could arguably be a top 2 seed outside of the Celtics. No other team in the Eastern Conference really moves me besides the Cavs, who obviously I'm talking about here. And they haven't really made much changes to the roster. They widely kept the same team. You still got Karis LeVert off the bench, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. You guys know the roster. But I think a lot of this is to do with Coach Kenny Atkinson. I haven't watched enough film to tell you exactly what they're doing differently, but it just seems like they're playing more connected. They're communicating better. Defensively, Evan Mobley is doing his thing. Jared Allen, everyone's really contributing. They're all playing with a lot of synergy, getting a lot of threes up, shooting it really well. They got Dean Wade. Max Strus is going to come back soon. Donovan Mitchell could shoot. Darius Garland could shoot. Evan Mobley's hit some threes. So they're just a really well put together team, and they haven't really added anyone all that significant. So in the Eastern Conference as well, I know it's early, so anything could still happen, but there's just less competition in the Eastern Conference. So I feel really good about picking him because some of these West coaches, as much as I love them, you see in my runner-ups, I got Mark D. And JJ Redick, who I think both can be in the conversation, but it's just going to be harder because the competition every night is going to be tougher. You might lose some games that, maybe you shouldn't feel bad about losing because they're to really good teams, but the record may just not reflect that. And, voters look at that stuff. So I think that's going to play a factor. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Joe Mazzulla because he's just one of the best coaches in the league. I know people like to shit on him because he has such a talented roster, but I think he really makes his talented roster work. And if you look at the Celtics, they're just so much better than everybody else. And I think that's attributed to coaching. We've seen teams in the past have tons of talent and really not be able to get to that level. And I think Joe Mazzulla is getting him to that level. He's maximizing everybody on the team. I know they're a stacked team. They have a lot of players. I think he does everything well that a coach should do. So one of the best coaches in the league. I just don't think he'll win it because of the roster. Let's move on to the next award. We have Sixth Man of the Year. Now, this one was a little tough because especially last year when I was doing these predictions, I predicted, I don't remember who I picked. I think I picked Austin Reeves, if I'm not mistaken, but he was coming off the bench for whatever reason for the beginning of the year and ended up starting pretty much the majority of the year after, Darvin Ham realized, oh, wait, this guy's good at basketball. So this could change really at any point in the season, whether it be the injuries or the coach making lineup changes. But I'm going to go with Pacers guard Benedict Mathurin. The reason I say that it could change at any point is because he really deserves to be starting over Andrew Nembhard. I don't know what Rick Carlisle is doing, benching him in fourth quarters and just not playing him a lot of minutes because he is actually their second best scorer outside of Pascal Siakam. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't look at the rim. I don't know if Ben Simmons have been hanging out a lot or something, but he just refused to shoot the ball unless it's like a step back three. So Benedict Mathurin has been aggressive, getting to the rim, drawing fouls. Off the bench, averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, 56, 39, 79%, only playing 26 minutes. If they end up starting him, obviously this will be irrelevant, but the only reason that he's even a sixth man is because Rick Carlisle has his head up his ass or something. I don't even know what to say. Pacers fans, you let me know. I have Pacers fans that are friends, and they've been telling me the same thing, so I feel comfortable, giving this criticism. But maybe I'm missing something, so you let me know. Some other runner-ups I considered Miles McBride. The Knicks, they kind of have no more depth since they traded Dante and Julius Randle, and Miles McBride is really their best player off the bench. Obviously the starters are going to play a lot of minutes, but off the bench, there's really nobody you can trust right now. Obviously, that may change during the season, but Miles McBride is somebody you can trust, plays good defense, can hit threes, is a Thibs type of guy, so he's going to play him as much as he needs to if he needs to. So I feel good about picking him. Buddy Hield has been doing a great job for the Warriors, fits right in with their system. He does have some hot and cold games, so I'm not as confident with him because there's games where he could go off, hit 9 threes, and there's other games where he literally won't hit a three the entire first half and just be benched because he doesn't have it today. So that was a little iffy. And Naz Reid, last year's winner, got to give him the respect. Next award we have is the Clutch Player of the Year. I'm going to run through this real quick. It's SGA. Who really cares about this award, to be honest? Does anybody care about this award? In the comment section, tell me, do you really care about Clutch Player of the Year? Since it's been introduced, have you been looking at these players that win these awards any differently? Like, do you use Clutch Player of the Year when you're in a discussion with your friends? Hey, De'Aaron Fox, no All-NBA, but he won a Clutch Player of the Year. Like, does that really move anybody? But anyway, I don't want to, this is awards prediction, so I got to give my prediction. SGA, the mid-range jumper, I feel like I've seen him hit like 15 mid-range jumper, game winner, game tire, clutch buckets over the last 2 seasons. So the Thunder are going to be a top 3 seed, if not the number 1 seed in the West. He's going to be their go-to guy down the stretch. As much as J-Dub is a great player, as much as Chet looks incredible this year, they're going to give it to Shea down the stretch for these game winners and these crucial buckets. Whether he passes it or shoots it, doesn't really matter. To me, that's a clutch play if he makes the right play. I think he really should win it this year. I guess, it's hard to predict. If the Thunder are blowing teams out, he's not going to get clutch moments. But if they are, I really believe that Shea's going to have the media behind him, the hype. He'll get put on SportsCenter. I think people are starting to come around to the Thunder a little bit more. So runner-ups, Anthony Edwards. I think he's going to lead the league in scoring. So I picked him because no more Cat. There's not a question who they're going to down the stretch. Ant could get any shot at any time. Luka, we know Luka. I'm not even going to have to explain that one to you. All right, next award we have Defensive Player of the Year. This one was really difficult for me to pick because it's really early in the season. And, Wemby was going to be the easy favorite, but I just don't think the Spurs are going to really be good this year again. And Wemby was the runner-up last year on a really bad team. So I do think he can win it again. Call me a homer. I don't care. Anthony Davis is going to be my Defensive Player of the Year. Mainly, I'm saying this for two reasons. One, how has he not won it yet? If we look back on Anthony Davis's career and just look at the statistics, just look at the box score, the accolades, you're going to see that he never won a depoy, but that does not reflect how good of a defensive player he is. He is one of the best defensive players in the league. He can guard guards in the perimeter. He can guard bigs on the inside. He can do it all. Block shots, get steals. JJ Redick should have this team being a better team than it has in years past. However, I do have a couple concerns with this. This is why, I'm being a little different because I could easily pick Chet and Wemby or Evan Mobley, my runner-ups. If either of those three win it, I wouldn't be surprised. To be honest, if you want me to be really, really 100% with you guys, they probably deserve it more than AD right now. But I want to be a homer, okay? This is my video. If you don't like it, don't click on my video. That's all I got to say. The only concern that I have is the Lakers have no defense outside of Anthony Davis. D'Lo and Austin Reeves might be the worst defensive backcourt in the league. LeBron only guards on like 15% of possessions when he feels like it. And the next best defender on the Lakers is Jared Vanderbilt, who hasn't played in 2 seasons. So that kind of concerns me. And I know it's not really a team award. It's about the player. But if the Lakers can't be a top 10 defensive rated team, it's just going to be hard to justify, especially for the media, giving this award to someone on a bad defensive team. And although it's not going to be his fault by any stretch of the imagination, that's just how it works. So if the Lakers do end up improving and getting in that top 10 at least, even 15, top 15, and this guy has a chance to win it. All right, we got 2 more awards left. And this next one is another interesting one that I had a hard time deciding between. Rookie of the Year. And you know what? I'm going to give it to the first overall pick, Zachary Risache. I still don't know if I can pronounce his name, but if you win this award, I'm gonna learn how to pronounce your name, buddy. Yeah, I really do think that he's gonna win this award. I really do think he has a chance. I don't really see anybody else that stands out in this rookie class. We've all heard it if you've been keeping up with the NBA. This is one of the weakest rookie classes in recent history, and you can kind of already see it. First couple games into the season, obviously, still a lot of time left. A lot of rookies typically get that boost and take that jump in that second half of the season post All-Star break. So it's still very early, but I think he has all the opportunity on the Hawks to grow and develop. The Hawks kind of have a lack of wing depth. DeAndre Hunter's there, Jalen Johnson's there, but DeAndre Hunter's always injured. Jalen Johnson's more of a 4, and so he's going to have all the opportunity to develop. Trae Young is going to help him get easy baskets, which should help him out. When I watched him play, it just seems like he does a little bit of everything, and I can expect him to improve on that. So his impact will be felt more than just on the statistics. Only averaging 9 points and 3 rebounds right now, but I think that's like 3rd among rookies. So, but some other runner-ups I want to mention. Zach Edey, a big favorite for a lot of people. And I think it's hard to say because there's times where Zach Edey looks really good, and there's times where Zach Edey's completely unplayable and you literally have to bench him or you're going to lose the game. So that's kind of a wild card to me. He's so slow-footed and struggles on guards and on the perimeter that, it's just hard for him to be in the game at times. So kind of a wild card there. Dalton Knecht, the Lakers have absolutely no reliable bench pieces right now. So he should get all the opportunity to contribute. A great shooter. That's exactly what you need with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So I feel like he has a chance coming off the bench even to win this award. And then the Wizards, Alexander Sarr and Bub Carrington. I'm only putting Alexander Sarr on here because I have to. to be honest. I don't really have any confidence in him, but he's going to have opportunity. They're going to continue to develop him. On the defensive side, he's also pretty good, so there's that. But I feel way better about Bub Carrington trying to win this award. And is it because I put money on him to win this? Maybe. But I also just think he's playing pretty well. I think he actually is leading all rookies in scoring right now. You know, he's a big guard that can play either the one or the two. Again, the Washington Wizards don't really have an agenda to push. They're not competing for a playoff spot, so he's going to get all the minutes that they want to give him to develop him. And who knows, if they trade guys like Kyle Kuzma, you know, Jonas Valanciunas, opens up more minutes for him. I think those Wizards guys could definitely do it, although I'm really higher on Bub Carrington. And the last award we're going to talk about here is the MIP award. And I'm actually giving this award to a Wizard, Bilal Coulibaly. Now, I'm not going to go off on a rant here because this is just an award prediction video, but if you guys want to see the rant, let me know. Please stop giving the MIP award to top 3 picks. It's completely lost all meaning because we're giving this award to completely touted generational players. Like, why is John Morant winning this award? Why do guys like Paolo Banchero and Cade Cunningham have the highest odds to win this award? These guys were picked first overall in the draft. You know what I mean? These guys were expected to be superstar franchise level players. So them jumping from all-stars to like all-NBA or from really good to all-star level players, is that surprising? Is that really most improved? I don't know about that. Most improved should be guys like Tyrese Maxey, guys who were picked late in the draft, guys who were expected to be role players or maybe just key contributors who turn into all-star, all-NBA level players. And I know Bilal Coulibaly, he's still a lottery pick. How can you do this? Nobody expected Bilal Coulibaly to be a star. If you did, you're a Wizards fan or you're French or something. I don't know, but most NBA fans do not expect Bilal Coulibaly to be a star. I mean, there's always the chance, obviously, but the way he's playing right now, he looks like he's the Wizards' best player. Averaging almost 19 points, almost 6 rebounds, 1.5 steal on 59, 42, 83% shooting splits. If guys like Kyle Kuzma, Jonas Valanciunas get traded midseason to help further this capture the flag agenda, he's going to get even more minutes. He's going to get more opportunity. I feel good about this pick. I think he continues to be good at everything. He's only 5 games in. I mean, he could pass. He's a good defender. His shot has been falling. He's getting to the rim. He's finding his teammates. He's rebounding the ball. You know what I mean? Like, he can do it all. And I think he's just getting started. So it's not like he's going to be played off the court or anything unless he's in foul trouble or something. But and some runner-ups I do want to mention. Jaden Ivey, you know, he's also a top 4 pick. But I also think the way he looked last season, most people didn't expect him to be, I don't want to say good, but, you know, people were down on him because of last season, and that could have been because of the team, but he looks phenomenal this year. You know, they were questioning whether him and Cade could fit next to each other, but I think those questions have been answered, even though, you know, Pistons aren't good still. I think it's not because of Jaden Ivey or Cade Cunningham. Dyson Daniels. Shout out to Dyson Daniels, man. I was really skeptical on the DeJounte Murray trade when it happened, but I was saying that Atlanta, you didn't get enough for DeJounte. Like, you could have got way more. Larry Nance, Dyson Daniels are cool, but, like, you're giving up an all-star level player who's really valuable, could do everything. Well, boy, was I wrong, because Dyson Daniels looks really, really good. He looks like a better fit next to Trae Young because he doesn't really need the ball in his hands. He could play defense, you know, probably better at this point than DeJounte Murray. A better catch-and-shoot guy, low maintenance, doesn't need the ball in his hands. You know, I'm a big Dyson Daniels supporter, and I've been, but even he's impressing me. You know, I've always thought he could be a solid player, but he's exceeding my expectations thus far this season. So shout out to him. And then Jalen Johnson. I would have gladly picked him, but he was really close to winning it last year. I feel like one of the only reasons he didn't win was because he just didn't play enough games. He was kind of injured throughout the season. But, you know, this year he's continuing that trend from last season. He had a couple rough games to start the year, but he's getting back on track. I just couldn't pick him because we kind of already saw that jump last year. It just wasn't for the entire season. So it kind of feels disingenuous to say that he's most improved when, like, he's doing just what he did last year. It's just now, hopefully, he plays the whole year. So I'm going to go with Bilal Coulibaly. Shout out to my Frenchman. Shout out to my Wizards fan. And I think that's the last award, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So let me know your guys' awards predictions in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys are thinking 1 week, 2 weeks into the season. Let me know what you think about my predictions. I know the Anthony Davis one is going to be really controversial. I don't mind. It's okay. I feel like AD needs a depoy, and I'm going to continue to push that agenda. But get my guy AD a depoy, all right? Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and I'll see you all on the next one.